I wanted to share what I think is quite an incredible story with you. So a week and a half ago on Thursday night, I went to a wedding outside of Jerusalem, and the whole bus ride I was sitting next to my friend. My friend is the mother of a very large family, and she's had a lot of very serious financial problems. To the extent that up until very recently, Baruch Hashem, I think we've organized some help for her. But up until very recently, she was struggling to buy even basic food. She wasn't able to buy, in particular, she would, like, there was no milk in her house, or even eshel. Eshel is sort of like a kind of yogurt that costs about 40 cents in Israel. Very, very, very cheap yogurt, could say. So she was no eshel in her house, no milk, and it was driving her crazy. Like she said, my son-in-law will come, and I didn't have any milk to add to the coffee. So I was talking to my friend, and Baruch Hashem now, as I said, she's in a better place. And she said, Jenny, she said, you know what my dream is? She says, my dream is that one day I'm going to have my own non-profit organization. And my non-profit organization is going to be, she said, I already have a name for it. It's going to be called Chesed Neto. It's going to be called 100% Chesed. 100%, acts of kindness. With no money for overhead, and no money going to overhead, no money going to the electricity bill, and no money going to the secretary or to the social worker or whoever. Everything, all the money donated will go just to this, to get to doing acts of chesed and helping needy families. And she said, and my gemach, my lending society is going to be this. I'm going to give out milk. I'm going to give out milk. Anyone who needs milk, they're going to come to me. I'm going to give out milk to needy families. And I thought this was a wonderful story. I thought it was wonderful that my friend, she could be dreaming about a lot of things. She could be dreaming that like she would win the lottery and be like a billionaire, and then she'll have money to give out. And then in addition to being very wealthy herself, she'll have money to give to poor people. No, her dream. Her dream is to be able, even if she's still needy herself, to be able to help other needy people. So quite an incredible thing happened. So that was last Thursday. This Thursday, I got a call from my friend. She says, Jenny, I need your help. I'm like, okay, what do you need my help with? And she said somebody just delivered 100 boxes of matzah to my house. And I'm responsible for distributing these 100 boxes of matzah to needy families in the neighborhood. Can you help me? So I know some people who I thought would need help like before the holiday, covering the cost of the holiday, and I called them, and we spread the word around the neighborhood, and so within an hour, all the matzah was gone. So my friend called me that night, and she was so excited. She was on this high. She just felt so excited, and she said, tell the donor, the person who donated this matzah, like tell him how grateful I am, and because I know the donor, she knows that I know the donor, but I thought, so I pointed out to her. I said, don't you think it's really quite incredible? Just last Thursday, you had what you thought was an incredibly impossible dream, right? Your impossible dream was that you were going to have your own lending society, Chesed Neto. And then just 1 week later, exactly 1 week later, on a Thursday, you're calling me up because you have then Chesed Neto. Someone brought you 100 packages of matzah. That's thousands and thousands of shekels worth of matzah that you were just able to give away to needy people. So the reason I'm talking about this today, we're all getting ready you're like, why aren't you talking about Pesach? Well, I think that this actually is very connected with Pesach, because something that I learned this year, I learned it very much through a wonderful class that I took this year with Chaya Hinda Allen. I think if you've been watching these pep talks for a while, I took a class. It's a half a year course called Jewish Positive Thinking. And so Chaya Hinda Allen, so she like one of the main parts of the course, one of the main requirements of the course is that every day, either once or maybe even twice, you listen to a positive thinking visualization CD. And my favorite Chaya Hinda visualization CD, I've been listening to every day for the past 6 months, at least. Is the one, it's called Expecting Success from Hashem. And every day I lie down and I lie down for 15 minutes and I do this visualization and I visualize things going well that day. And so I spend so I think about 2 minutes of it we spend just thinking about the day and what's going to happen over today in the next few days. And I envision things, for example, like okay, today I have a bunch of errands to go to run, and I envision myself being home by 10 a.m. As unlikely as that seems, I envision myself getting everything done so I can be home by 10 a.m. And then I envision, picking up my daughter and going out with her to a playground, and then getting her home without a tantrum leaving the playground. And then I envision, bedtime going smoothly, without me yelling at anybody, and things going like smoothly. And the amazing thing, the really, really wild thing about this that I hadn't expected is that those 2 minutes a day of visualizing and sort of putting into like words and a thought, thinking like visualizing how things are going to go, it makes it so then the most of the time it actually happens the way that I dream it. Somehow, like my friend who she dreamed at 1:30 Thursday and then the next Thursday it actually happened. So in life, like when you're planning like your day and what's going to happen, it really, really helps just even taking a minute or two a day, visualizing what's going to happen. So I just want to suggest, now it's like 2 of the craziest weeks of the year, getting ready for Pesach. And I think that all of us, even no matter how calm we are and how organized we are, there's a certain amount of stress in these 2 weeks leading up to Pesach. So I wanted just to suggest, and something that I'm going to be doing is every day I'm going to be visualizing for 2 minutes, even 1 minute a day, visualizing how my day is going to go. I'm going to clean this, and I'm going to get my kids to clean this, and how it's going to go smoothly, and they're actually going to clean with a big smile and happily, and then the treat I'm going to get them afterwards, and how I'm going to finish what I want to get done that day, and every day doing that. And I think that you'll see, and I hope that I'll see, that by visualizing and actually sort of visualizing what you want, it actually makes it happen. It's pretty wild. So try it once, and I think you'll be pretty amazed. And also I want to suggest, so Seder night, it's one of the most important nights of the year, right? And I think it's important, just as we get closer and closer, maybe the days before Seder, to be visualizing a little bit, like maybe a minute a day, even a minute a day. Just visualizing what you want from Seder night, how you want it to go, what you want your table to look like, how you want the interactions with your kids to look like, how you want your interactions with your husband to go, what you want, how you want the Seder to be run, what you want the feeling, the atmosphere at the table to be like. And I think what's going to happen is if we do this, if we even put in this 1 minute a day of visualizing how things will work out, I think after Pesach you're going to come back to me, you're going to say, thank you, Hannah Jenny. Because it really worked. It really made a big difference. So I want to wish all of you Jewish moms with happy cleaning and joyful cleaning, and a lot of calm and good feeling in your hearts and in your houses. And I want to bless all of you Jewish moms with an amazing, amazing week.